Okay, so with the chicken we had the other night and homemade noodles and stuff, I took the broth from cooking the chicken and I turned it into, and then the carcass, and then I turned it into a dog food mush mess. So this has some liver in it to help with the iron. The chicken carcass is in it, which, you know, will be busted up before I feed it to them. And then some rice and some peas and some carrots. And then just random bits of chicken meat and stuff that was left over out of the chicken. And the dogs will thoroughly enjoy this. Oh, and I put them crackling pieces from the lard that I made yesterday in here. But these bones are very, very brittle. And I can take them out and dry them in the oven the rest of the way to have them be ground up. Because, well, they're chicken bones. They'll splinter for the dogs, but I'm going to feed this to the dogs and I will can up what's left of it. Okay, so you can see these here's the chunks of liver. Now, yes, I know dogs, some dogs can eat raw, blah, 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 whatever. Mine will not eat it raw. He will let it slide right back out of his mouth, so I have to cook it in order for him to get the liver. But I'm just going to put a couple scoops over here in his dish. And then I'll probably put up more for tomorrow. And then I'll can what's left for him. Just because it lasts better that way. And then as far as that goes, this is what's left of the carcass from the chicken. Ain't a whole lot left. Some of it's brittle. It'll break easy, but you know, like this here's bending. So, but it's not crumbly yet. And that's where you get your bone meal to sprinkle on the dog food or to put in your garden for extra calcium.
This one looks like a
that is the wishbone. Oh. But yeah, so anyhow, I'm gonna rinse these off and give these a roasting for a while. See if I can't finish them up some. That way this chicken was not wasted. But dog food to can, and we'll roast some bones. I'm gonna pressure can that dog food because it has meat in it. It's got to be 90 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. Fill the water up to about your middle knuckle here. That way you got plenty of water in there to run the canner that long. And then wipe your rims really, really well. All the way around them. I put a little bit of water in this one because it was super dry, bottom of the barrel kind of deal. And that'll just kind of mix with it, not be so dry. But wipe your rims, and then you got to place your bands. Finger tight is just right. And then these will be placed into the canner. Okay, you can see I've put them all in the canner here. Yes, I'm reusing lids because there's nothing wrong with these lids, and this is dog food. So if it don't seal, fine. I'll feed it to the dogs before I expected to. No big deal on this. Because I do have a cord in here. Like I said, it's 90 minutes. If it was just pints, it'd be 75 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure here. But I got them in here. I just got to let for the pressure to build up, and then I'll get it canned up, and then we'll have dog food that's shelf-stable. That's actually real food. So I'm just gonna wait for some pressure to build up now. Alright, so you see an arrow on this lid, and then, or on this handle, and then an arrow on this here lid. So when I put these on, I line them up. So hit start, not start. Alright, line up the arrows from here and here, and that is how you know it's to put it on the right way and it locks. Now, this is put on here, and I can hang on to it just by the handle, and it's not going anywhere because it's got multiple locking mechanisms. And then it's got this here rubber gaskety seal thing. That's an extra precaution. This is what will shoot out the steam and determine the pressure. And then I've got this here, this part jiggler thingy. It'll wiggle and jiggle around, and then it'll stand up. When it does, that's when the pan will start building pressure. So I just gotta wait for it to stand up, and then I'll put my jiggler weight on it. I use a jiggler instead of a dial gauge. Either was fine. 10 pounds of pressure. If you use a dial gauge, you got to get it tested. But this is my weighted jiggler. This itself is 5 pounds. It's not actually 5 pounds, but it's 5 pounds of pressure to it per square or whatever, I don't know. And then you add a ring onto it, and that's going to be another 5 pounds, making this to be 10 pounds of weight. So it'll go on here and it'll jiggle and wiggle and all that, but not yet. So we'll wait for the pressure to build up, and then we'll take it from there, and that's when you start the timer, is when the pressure starts. Okay, so you can see this here little rubber thing's popped up. That back air's popped up. And this is shooting steam out. So it's now ready to put the gauge on. Now it's on there. Once it starts wiggling, that's when we set the timer. But for now, we've got the pressure out of the pan. Now we have the pressure, whatever in the pan. Now we just got to build the pressure up to where it has to be. So that's it on that until we got a jiggle. Okay, that's the jiggle. So 90 minutes on the timer. And I'm going to turn it down a little bit because it don't have to jiggle that hardcore. You just need to have some movement and jiggling happening. So, we're done now, so it's time to remove them. Okay, time is up. I removed it from the heat, so you can see the jiggler slowing way down. But this will drop down here, and then once this here drops, that's when the pressure is out of the pan, and then we can open the lid. You cannot open the lid up until then. So once the pressure is dropped, that's when we will open it up. Depends on how long it takes. Sometimes it's a half hour, sometimes it's longer. So we'll just wait for the pressure drop, and I'll show you how to take this lid off, and we'll get them out. Okay, so you can see this here is dropped now, which means the pressure is down. So I can remove this, just pick it up off here, and then this literally just twists this direction, where the arrows line back up here, and then you just open it up away from your body so you don't burn yourself. Okay, yep, just get it to where it's... Ooh, it might be finagle a little bit. There you go. Okay, well...
Hold on, wait.
Explaining it and doing it are two different things, clearly. There, now open it. Now open it away, because it will steam still. Don't burn yourself. Just put it over at the sink. Alright, and that's all you do with that. And then... with this, you take your jar lifter, which is this here thing. This plastic piece is folded up, what you hold on to. And then down here is your rubber pieces that's kind of roundish. It goes right over the jar like so. And you just pick it up right out of there, set it on the towels. I double up towels only because I feel like it absorbs more of the shock from them, and it ain't putting them on nothing cold. And then when you do have it done here, you just make sure you leave space in between each jar so that it allows adequate cooling from them. So there you go. Just set them out with space between jars, and now they'll start popping and sealing, and that is it to canning dog food. So they'll be very, very happy to have this.